the world of Genshin Impact, the Fatui Harbingers were introduced as dangerous figures, but over time, we've got to know them a lot better. We have befriended a bunch, made enemies out of others, and even slain a few, but Sandrone is the first who's been brought back to life. So what kind of mysterious grand entrance will she present to us when we reunite? Let's not talk about that. Is she going to be absolutely stellar, or will she crumble before the rest of the world like she did, half a year ago? Can we beat Genshin Impact with only Sandrone? Now, I've kinda stopped explaining the rules at the start because you've heard them so many times now, but if not, here they are. Sorry if I am a bit late, by the way. I did go on holiday at the start of the patch, but I'm here now, and unfortunately, I've brought back a bit of a cough. My voice might sound a bit different today, but let's just get into it. First up is Amber's domain, and after struggling for 5 whole minutes, I realized that you could just do this. Also, has anyone noticed this chest over here before? I've done this domain like 20 times, and this is the very first time I've actually seen it. Now, we could freeze the spikes in Kaya's domain, but Sandrone does have a movement ability which allows her to just hover over them instead. I will talk about it a bit later, but all I'm going to say right now is that it's absolutely broken because just look at this. So Act 1 is now complete with a very fast time of just over 20 minutes. So now it is time for Act 2. The Eye of the Storm is a very fast fight because Sandrone can aim her charged attack upwards and knock it out mid-air. Alright, let's put some artifacts on you. What is this? Ooh. Hello, you misbehaving subordinate. I hope you're not afraid to lose your tongue. Now, I actually tried to hit the weak spot on this ruin guard here, but I don't know if you can, even though we're technically doing a ranged attack here. I did hit it once a lot later on the run, but I think that was just a random fluke. What? And that is Act 2 done as well. I've also noticed a bug here with Debate Club which has made us do a lot more damage than we should have. I don't know why, but the Debate Club physical attack can be triggered multiple times at once. You can see here that it damaged the slimes twice. And here too. I'm guessing it's because Sandrone attacks way too fast for the weapon to register correctly, and it accidentally triggers Debate Club twice because of this, but hey, I'll take it. I do have a rule that says no bug abusing, but I'm not really abusing anything here. I only noticed it while I was editing, so it was completely unintentional. Act 3 time. You don't know how good this makes me feel. In case you haven't picked up on it yet, our name for the Traveler is Clanker, which I'm surprised about because it's derogatory to Sandrone. But hey, are robots really human though? No. Look at Sandrone. Look at Nefer. Would you consider them human? They can move, they have emotions, they even consume a ton of water. Okay, but Yehoda can say it.
Oh, that dumb clanker.
So I guess Genshin Impact says it's alright. Dvalin's shield imploded in on itself like we're literally inside of him, destroying it so incredibly fast, and we're also strong enough to take it down in one phase, which means we save Mondstadt and complete the prologue without even seeing the end card again. It happened before in Farazan only, and I can only assume it's due to the event pop-up, but oh well, let me just get the time from where it should be. Sandrone finishes Mondstadt with a sub 3-hour time of 2 hours, 49 minutes and 53 seconds, which puts her at an extremely close second place, just behind Marwika by less than a minute. Absolutely incredible start of the run. We've basically outperformed almost everyone, but let's see why she is this fast. Sandrone is a cryo claymore, but forget about the claymore part for now because we're hardly going to be using it. Most of the time we're going to be using her charged attack, which you've seen in the last few minutes already, so let's break it down. Okay, but like, how else am I supposed to describe it? Summons the Facilitatrice Automatrice yeah, no, I'm not reading all of that. Just know that we do a ton of fast cryo damage and 3 big hits that can also do stellar conduct damage if we react with Electro. I'm not going to go into the whole stellar conduct stacks and calculations and whatnot. Go watch like a Zajef video or something, I don't know. After going 3 times, we get overheated and can refresh this by using our skill, which is really cool because our skill has a 4-second cooldown. It is very versatile. On top of this, we can use it to dodge attacks and as a regular form of transport because it's faster than regular sprinting. If we choose not to sprint with it, it doesn't use up any stamina and even allows us to regenerate stamina so that we can just start sprinting again. Also, it only travels horizontally so it can cross gaps a regular glider can't and even go up slanted surfaces really fast. It's a really good skill even though it doesn't do a crazy amount of damage. But what does do a crazy amount of damage is her burst. It's just AoE cryo damage, so nothing too special, but it can also do stellar conduct damage in the right conditions, so expect some big numbers this run. And since we're also level 40, we've unlocked her first Ascension passive, which is... yeah, I'm not reading that. Just know that it's useless most of the time because it requires us to trigger Superconduct first, same as her other Ascension passive to be honest. Also, she gets free tea. That's kinda most of her kit. Her normal attacks aren't anything that special, they're more of a disadvantage if anything because they're just so incredibly slow. I'll just talk about her Ascension materials here just to get them out of the way, but I hate these bugs. They are annoying. They don't have the little glowing pickup indicator, they're so far apart, and they're tiny. You can't even see them. There's a bunch of them that you can't even access because they're locked behind world quests or other annoying subtasks. I am not spending any more time than I have to collecting these. I'm just gonna do 35 at a time as we need 105 in total, which is exactly 3 rounds of collection, so we should have enough at the relevant checkpoints. Her boss is this guy, and if you've seen Linnea Oni, you'll know that it's probably one of the easiest boss fights in the game. Not only are its moves really easy to dodge, but you can still attack it in its store phase, and there's no harsh punishment for not completing its mechanic. Her talent domain is just a bunch of Fatui enemies, and the Debate Club weapon domain, as well as the other weapon we're gonna use, is literally the easiest fight ever, like just watch this. So overall, pretty decent material farming, except for these absolutely diabolical clanker bugs. Get away from me, you flying cockroaches. It's time to deal with some bigger animals. Mooncarver is up first, and let me set the damage high here at 1310. Not too bad at all considering her burst does multiple hits. Also, it's literally on a 7-second cooldown. Imagine being a guy with a spear and leather armor in Liyue and suddenly you're getting bombarded by technologically advanced autonomous flying convective inhibition rays. Like, how would you even describe that to your wife and kids after work? That's if you're ever gonna see them again. What is the tree method gonna do when we ourselves have a hover chair? And Li Dang was halfway up the mountain this time, so we break the amber with our regular claymore attacks. Last animal is a short guy. And that's Act 1 done. Oh my... oh, come on. Okay, but here's the thing. Why am I actually going for the weapon? It requires materials from the enemies up in the moon, and I'm sure as hell not wasting an hour just trying to get up there. As a 5-star weapon, there's not enough materials in the shop, so we can only level it to 40. I'm pretty sure a higher level Debate Club would still be better. So let's just forget that ever happened and move on. The only problematic slimes in the teapot here are the cryo slimes, but there are enough pyro traps to heat up these cold desserts. But we can't seem to get past this mechanically advanced puzzle. Now we could go away and tinker in our workshop for the next 5 hours or so, or we could just bring out the clanker again. Oh, how nice of you all to allow one of your superiors to just waltz in and inspect the sigils.
Happy birthday, my beloved little Miko Yasuo. I love you. Mwah.
I'm actually going to talk about the Whopper Flowers here because we're doing something a bit different from our regular gameplay. These guys put cryo shields up, and although we can still damage them, they're annoying when they themselves start going pew 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 pew. So we're gonna use our normal claymore attacks to break them faster. Hey, a child, why don't you join me for some tea? We can have a chat just like old times. Oh, Polonia? Unfortunately, he's not functional anymore, but...
I'm sorry to hear that I'll never get the chance to fight him.
Do I really have to clean up this annoying guy's mess? Like, I am sorry, but this is just a child's play. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've made that joke before. And there we go, Liyue complete in 8 hours, 23 minutes and 3 seconds. Compared to our Mondstadt placing, we haven't budged at all. We have slowed down a bit compared to Malwika, but like, okay, she's Malwika, what can you expect? It seems like she started off strong, but will she keep it up or not? Well, like always, we're gonna hide the leaderboard until the end to see the big surprise. After using 2 Catalyst characters back to back, it finally feels amazing to break these shields again. The same goes for this one, and this one, and this one, but our fun stops there because the game's like, yeah, let's put 5 cryo mages in a row here. How convenient is it that we're actually a Claymore user this time and not some stinky book orb eye of perception user? But here's the first fight where we might actually have a bit of trouble. Just kidding. There is one niche combat advantage here that I haven't even mentioned yet. Now you all may be thinking about freezing the enemy, and yes, we can do that, but that's not all of it. I told you all earlier to forget the Claymore part of her kit, but her being a Claymore user actually allows us to naturally trigger the Shatter reaction when she fires her beams. It becomes even better later because her second Ascension passive gives her extra elemental mastery, which is what Shatter damage scales off of. Add in the Debate Club triggers and we've got a very nasty Hydro Herald counter that absolutely shreds through its shield in under 30 seconds. So it's now time to go go go! Or in Sandrone's words,
Pick up the pace.
I'm honestly sick of this voice line. Like, she says it every time when I'm just traveling between quest markers. Like, pick up the pace, pick up the pace. Shut up! Why don't you pick up a f***ing mute button? Oh wait. First up is the transport balloon, and I've never ever seen this before, but we beat this wave of enemies way too fast, so the game spawned them back in again. And what is even weirder is that this guy just despawned, right in front of my own two eyes. Mizuki, I think you forgot to clear out a few of those shadows from that last event. We're not even at the delusion factory yet, and I think we're going delusional. The one thing I'm for sure not delusional about is that we did hit 2,841 damage here, finally putting us on the board and overtaking Horand. Wow, more guys with spears. Chores for the Elderly went really well this time because apparently one single ice bullet is enough to take down a whole fucking bush. But here's the part you've all been waiting for. Archery. I wasn't even sure if we could do this, but I had a bit of a strategy going into it. Let's explain a little bit more about Sandrone's charge attack. I've mentioned that it takes 3 to go into overheated mode, but I've never actually said what happens after. The charge attack doesn't stop. It just fires at a much slower speed as it's overheated. I'm sure you can already tell what my plan is here. I'm purposely going into overheated mode so that I can control the attack a lot better and avoid hitting the red targets. Especially because the fire rate is so fast, it's very likely I'll hit red targets behind some of the blue targets. But with careful aim and precision, the archery demo is successfully completed on our very first try. But just like how we need Electro for Superconduct, we need Electro for this too. Big Guy doesn't even put his Electro shield up until he's half health thanks to the rain. Okay, I can now officially be delusional because we've made it to the Delusion Factory. And I've got to be quick about my hot take this time because Sandrone clears her subordinates way too fast. Now, I recently went on holiday to Korea with a couple friends, if you haven't seen my other video, and one of the places I visited was Jeju Island. Now, the signature thing here is black pork, and I personally think it sucks. Everything else there was phenomenal. The abalone, the halabong oranges, the tea, the pastries, the other local dishes even, all of it was astonishing, except for black pork. In my opinion, it was kinda mid. I want to go back to Jeju for everything else, especially the abalone. The abalone. My mouth is just watering just thinking about it right now. Anyways, that's it. I recommend trying black pork at least once if you're able to eat pork. I just think that regular K-barbecue is better. Even in Seoul, where it's crazy overpriced and touristy, it's still better there. But I guess Senora is the type of person that would enjoy K-barbecue because look at all the burnt on the floor. Her cryo phase isn't too bad even though she has cryo resistance. We're just kinda getting hit by a lot of projectiles and creep, but we're doing damage to her faster than she can damage us. The thing I don't get is that we're literally hovering in the air and still getting damaged by her creep. Like, make that make sense. We get her pretty low in the pyro phase before she does do her tornado move, so we can just burst her as soon as she stops. Wow, that was a great match, Senora. Thank you so much for sparring with us. Come now, let us enjoy some tea, some snacks. Ooh, I know, I'll bring Arlecchino and Capitano, and maybe even Colombina if she... What the f*** are you doing to my friend, you f***ing puppet? Get the hell out of my way, Kazuha. I'm about to teach this piece of shit a lesson. We shoot down this foul being with our gajillion cannons and finish Inazuma in a time of 12 hours, 54 minutes, and 43 seconds. Yeah, so remember this guy? He's getting the exact same treatment, but honestly, I don't even feel bad for him because the Electrolictor got it much worse. After such an achievement, I think it's finally time for us to craft ourselves a new 4-star weapon. Prototype Amber is the Prototype Archaic is the obvious choice here. It provides us with a ton of attack and is basically just the Bait Club, but better. We go ahead and equip it, ascend ourselves to 70, and make our way towards the bloody internet. The Withering is only half as witherful this time because our charge attack has a lot of range. We can hit the roses from ages away so the fungi don't even spawn in. I guess that makes up for the extra wave pack in Inazuma. This guy finally gets his revenge on us as we can't break his shield, so I guess we've got to let it loose on some fungi instead. Enemy reinforcements incoming. Where do they go? Maybe they're hiding all the way in this horrible, horrible act. No! Oh, this guy's fucking massive! This guy's fucking massive!
What the f is that, Jack?
Just ignore. Just ignore me at this point. Just ignore me at this point. Just ignore me.
Yo, I can't
Bro!
Hey, I see you!
Dude, I gotta find a spot. I gotta find a spot.
I don't find a spot. He's on me.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Mia, you
He's got him yet. Nah.
dude, this thing.
Hey.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus. Oh my god.
Oh my god. He's too
Oh my
fast.
gosh.
He's too fast.
Clip this.
My sensitivity's too much.
Ain't no way you survived this
Oh
long!
my god.
Tori, you son of a...
Rift Hounds are really easy to fight against because we just need to keep moving. They can't hit us at all. Sandrone does have a bit of an advantage here as her skill movement is a lot faster than regular sprinting, so we do get extra time to hit the Dendro monuments, which makes the Elazar hospital pretty stress-free. Same as the long desert trick. One thing I haven't mentioned is that after her skill ends, it keeps the momentum and velocity, so if we're high above the ground when it ends, we can gain a ton of extra distance just by falling. Just make sure that you plunge or you'll look real dumb. It's still really great for skipping over sections like this, and even if you choose to activate your charge attack while midair, you fall slowly as well. Time for Act 5. Jokes, boss farming time. Not more foot soldiers. Actually, these are Dotori's goons, so go nuts, Sandrone. We can take them out before they even put their shields up, so it's safe to say that we're doing pretty decent damage right now. You can even see that this is the case here too, even though I avoided half of the enemies here thanks to the skip, or not, because Sandrone's skill auto-targets enemies and managed to somehow notify the ones in this room even though the doors are closed and everything. So I just went and did the skip again, I guess. Oh, 6-7.
6-7.
It's f***ing July and I'm still making this joke. I figured that it would be faster trying to take down this guy in his first phase than getting taken down ourselves, and I figured right because this guy could only pull out one move before he got clapped. And in the second phase, we're 100% able to take down the turrets with our charged attacks and put him in the knock state, which means we can hit a new high of 5,250. Finally putting us ahead of Chongyun. But that's not even the end of it, because after skipping these entire islands on the way to the Boat of Consciousness, we go ahead and trigger Stellar Conduct against the big guy, creating a Polestar field and doing an extra 10,000 damage on top of that at 14,511 damage, pulling us ahead 6 whole places on the damage leaderboards from 14th to 8th, just behind Skirk. And with that final fight out of the way, we go ahead and finish Sumeru in a time of 20 hours, 17 minutes and 5 seconds.
Pick up the pace.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! I'm moving as fast as I can, Sandrone. What more do you want from me? Really, Garming? What the? No, I'm getting this right. Garming! There we go. And now here's the first enemy we just can't steamroll, unlike everyone else. The Cryo Herald shield is very annoying, but as a Claymore character, it's still kinda on easy mode. We do quite a bit of damage to it even though our attacks are really slow, but after about a minute and a half, the Herald goes down and that is basically Carry Bear. So now it's time to return home. But we're not spending too much time here because frankly there's just not that much to do. At least let's stay away from this machine ravaging tyrant just in case. The hydrogranim trick is really easy because we can hover over the water here, which gives us extra time to collect the flowers. 200-year-old marionette with an attitude or modern Fontaine bot without. Who will win? I'm assuming we're watching the same video here, so it's obviously Miss Gyutan, but the fact that we didn't even get hit here shows the difference between delicate and intentional handiwork and mass-produced slop. Oh, hello there. So let us go straight to the torture chamber. And I'm such a stupid chungus, but I forgot to make the timer visible here in Act 5 after recording something else, but whatever, it lasts for less than an act anyway, so don't worry too much about it. On other characters, I'd form a little strategy on which enemy to take down first, if we want to wait for a certain move, or if there's anything else I need to do in the room. But with Sandrone, just blast them all. We don't even take any damage here either. Who would have thought just a couple months ago I was going insane with a level 40 llama, and now we're clearing this room as if it were nothing. For the big ol' whale, I decided to actually hit the dude to make it a bit faster and cut down the number of eye pops from 4 to 3. With the whale out of the way, we managed to complete Fontaine in 27 hours, 11 minutes and 33 seconds. So after collecting the last of the robo cockroaches we need for level 80, it's time for a nap. The Pyromage here is okay, but the Cryomages are a lot more troublesome. Compared to the Herald though, it takes significantly less to break them. Here's the point in which I managed to hit the Ruin Guard's eye, by the way, but after slowing down the footage, I'm pretty sure that it's not even our beam that triggers it, and it's instead Prototype Archaic's passive. The fight here is honestly just lengthy if anything. Again, we didn't even get hit. Yes, I do have to boast about it every single time it happens, okay? Just let me inflate my ego just a little bit. But now it's time to wake up from our short nap all refreshed and replenished so that we can head straight to Natlan. Sandrone is not from Natlan, nor is she a Night Soul user, but she's probably one of the best at deleting Abyssal Shields, simply due to the speed at which she applies Cryo. Just take a look for yourselves, that's almost as fast as burning grass. Cue Malco. The Fatui fight here is chill because once the Electro Hammer puts up its shield, we can stutter conduct for a new high of 20,333, pushing us up another 3 places to 5th on the damage charts, just below Nefer. Even the Cryo Gunner wasn't a problem here, as we can just outrange it. The fights in Natlan that have caused trouble for so many prior runs are just nothing to us right now. And to prove this, just a few minutes later, we hit another new high of 35,583, making us the 3rd highest damage dealer, only a few thousand damage behind Malwika, and Linnea's just built different, so forget about her. So as we continue to shred Abyssal Shield after Abyssal Shield, we purify Natlan from the terrors of the Abyss, watch yet another one of our colleagues pass on, and head towards new adventures, finishing the run in 33 hours, 53 minutes and 22 seconds. We've ended up with the 2nd fastest time on the channel, finishing just under an hour after Malwika and also with the 3rd highest damage number to date. Sandrone shredded every enemy here. She really picked up the pace. But speed isn't everything, so just how well will she be ranked in our scoring system? For combat, it's a 5. Sandrone didn't have any trouble with any enemies here. Even the enemies with cryo immunity such as the Cryomages and Heralds, or high cryo resistance such as Sumeru and the Cryo Gunners were not too bad. Our Claymore attacks are slow, but we're hardly using them because our main damage source is from the attack. The skill to refresh our heat bar is on a 4-second cooldown, so we have 100% uptime on our charge attack, and our burst just does a ton of damage as well. I'm gonna do a little bit of a bend on the scoring system here because Sandrone doesn't have any sustain, but the fact that you can just move around pretty fast while attacking kinda counts. It's a really great way to dish out damage and dodge at the same time. We didn't die once in combat, so there's really no need for sustain in our kit at all. I'm pretty sure I also only ate like 3 sweet madams or something the entire run as well. For farming, it's a 4. Almost everything is easy. Her boss is one of the easiest bosses to farm. Her talent domain is just Fatui enemies. The weapon domain is just Electro Slimes, but the one and only thing that stops her from getting that 5 is the annoying ass flying cockroaches. Like, there's enough of them considering I finished this run in 7 days, but they're just so hard to find and they're so spread out as well, it's not funny. Exploration is a 5. Her skill is great for movement. It's fast and only travels horizontally so it can hover over gaps in terrain, as well as climb up steep slopes without using up stamina. 100% uptime thanks to the forcing cooldown, and has incredible stamina consumption mechanics. It's not as fast as some of the other Natlan characters for sure, but it's extremely consistent and still a lot faster than regular movement. Also a Claymore user, if I haven't pointed that out already. And finally, enjoyment. Sandrone is great. I had a ton of fun on her. Her kit feels really smooth and dodging and positioning with the skill refresh is pretty cool. I genuinely think she has a lot more skill expression than Neuvillette, even though their kits are extremely similar. She just feels like a nice quality of life upgrade to this kit and it feels way better to use. Her voice lines can be a bit annoying, telling me to pick up the pace when I'm trying my hardest out here, but I still enjoyed this run a lot. I've come to like her a lot more. Her voice lines, apart from that one, are still very great, and even though the fights are short, they felt very interactive. Now, I've been giving out the score a lot more frequently lately, and I promise it's not because I gave the last character a 1, but Sandrone gets a 5. So that makes her total score 19 out of 20, slotting her in between Linnea and Malwika, and taking the second top score overall. Very great run indeed. But that does bring us to the end of the video. I'm pretty sure the next character I'll put out is Emily, but I'd also like to do an Alyosha run. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Alyosha? Alyosha? However you pronounce it, hopefully he's a 4-star. Sigewinne, Navia, and now Wriothesley are on the bench ready to go, as well as possibly a couple of 4-stars I've wanted to do runs on for ages. So look forward to their runs too. Thank you all for watching if you've made it all the way to the end. Like the video and subscribe for more content just like this one, and I'll see you all in the next one.